And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. We're taking a look at a game called Copenhagen. Look at this box, isn't it neat? With it, you think my collection's complete. On the front, you'll see the famous Little Mermaid statue from Copenhagen. This is a new game from Queen Games. It's a simple game where you're using Tetris-shaped blocks to build an apartment building or an office building, I guess, some sort of building to fill in floors. Very easy game, but is it good? Let's find out. In this game, there's a deck of cards. These cards are going to be made up of 5 different colors: yellow, green, red, blue, and purple. And they're going to be shuffled put here. You're going to deal them face up here. You're also going to have a pile of tiles that match those colors with 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5 combinations. Some of these tiles won't be used in a 2 or 3 player game. You'll pull them out. You also have some bonus tiles, and each player is going to get their own building player board that they put in front of them. One person goes first, and you start going around the table. On your turn, you have 2 different things you can do. One of the things is take cards. You can take some of these face-up cards. The only rule is you have to take cards that are face-up together. So these 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or 2. So maybe I'll take these 2. These cards are immediately replaced. You have a hand limit of 7 cards. So once you take more than 7, you got to discard down to 7. Now, as you take more and more cards, you'll have more in your hand. So something else you might do in your turn is you might play cards from your hand. So I might play, for example, 3 cards, green cards here to the discard pile, to take the 3 green tile and place it onto my board. Now, when placing a tile on your board, you have to either place it on the bottom somehow, or you can place it so that it's touching it's on top of another tile that is on the bottom or on top of another tile like that. So even this is okay as you're putting the tiles in. And you can rotate tiles any way you want. Now, the way you score in this game is that when you put a tile down so that it completely fills a row or completely fills a column, you will get points. You'll get even more points if, as you're putting these tiles down, everything in that row or column is windows. So if you finish a row across, it's 1 point. A row of only windows is 2 points. A column is 2 points, and a column of only windows is 4 points. Also, when you completely fill a row that's next to one of these symbols here, or if you cover up one of these at symbols, then you get a bonus. The bonus is either taking one of these single tiles, which can be put anywhere on your board. Hooray! Filling in holes with these tiles. It can also be to take one of these bonus tiles here, which you can use to give yourself a special action. So for example, this lets me take cards and place a tile on my board. Whenever you use it, you'll flip it over. This one here lets me turn cards from one color into another. This lets me take 2 cards even if they're not next to each other. This lets me draw a 3rd card. And this one, when I'm putting down a tile, I can pay 1 less card for it. You can also, when you get one of those symbols, take any number of special tiles that you've turned over and return them back over so you can use them again. There's also a bonus for putting the same color next to each other. If you drop a tile in and it touches a tile of the same color, then you get a discount of 1 card. So instead of this costing 4 blues, it would cost simply 3. The game is going to end in one of 2 ways. Either someone's going to get to 12 points. That's how you win. Or when this deck runs out, it's going to be reshuffled, and in the bottom 10 cards, you're going to put this mermaid card here, and you'll shuffle that into those cards. And when that card shows up and is drawn, the game instantly ends. Whoever's the farthest on here is the winner. Ties broken by whoever has covered more squares in their building. The components for the game are pretty well done. I mean, they just have, these are nice, simple cards. You know, they're different colors, but they also show you the different shapes. You'll notice the reds have a square shape. The yellows have the S-type shapes. The blues are the L shapes, the greens have the T shapes, and the purples are straight. So, there's some differentiation there. They look really done. And as you are building your tower, I don't know, there's just something neat to see it all come together. You're going to enjoy, if you like the idea of building a tower and dropping the different pieces in, you're probably going to get a kick out of just seeing how they all fit in here and make it look cool. I don't think many people are going to completely finish their tower, but if you did, that would be kind of a sense of satisfaction. Overall, the game has really nice components, and my only complaint might be these mermaid statue scoring pieces seem a little top heavy. They're hard to see exactly where they are on here, and they get bumped around easily. The score track could have probably been a little bit better. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. It's a themeless game to some degree. I mean, I guess they got the Little Mermaid and they got these buildings from Copenhagen here, but this is a really fun, what I would term almost a gateway style game. It's really easy to get into. You are literally taking cards and or spending cards to put these building blocks in your building. Now you can work really hard to try to get as many windows in because that scores you points. You can just throw blocks in as quickly as you can, getting floors. Both strategies work, but it's essentially just collect cards, get sets of those, turn them in, get shapes, put them in your thing. Getting shapes of the same color saves you cards. Now, so far, I've only played it with 4 players, although it looks like it's perfectly fine with 2 and 3. And every time the game has run out by the mermaid card being drawn. No one has gotten to 12, although I think someone got to 10 one game. But it's possible, and I think in a 2 or 3 player game, you'll get to that point score faster. It doesn't matter to me. There's really not a lot I can say about it. Visually, it's really appealing. You're building a thing. But other than that, it just grabs some cards, spend those cards to put out things. It's like a light Ticket to Ride almost to some degree, because in Ticket to Ride, you collect cards, you spend those cards, you build train tracks. Here you collect cards, and you put them in the thing in a Tetris shape. Now, it's not Tetris. There's a lot of games that are out right now that are trying to be Tetris, where you drop shapes. Yes, you're fitting the shapes in, but there's no speed element to it. Yes, you get a point for a line or column, but that makes sense in a building method anyway. And I like that. It makes sense that you can't just drop a piece in the middle because you don't build buildings with floating floors out there. So that part of the theme helps this in this regard. But it plays very quickly. It says on the box here 20 to 40 minutes. 20 is a really fast game. But a nice 30, 40-minute game, yeah, Copenhagen's good. I was impressed by this one. This is the kind of game that you can bring out and play with almost anybody. Someone comes to your house and they're like, what are these games of which you speak? Here's one we can try. Definitely you want to check this one out. Copenhagen. Dice Tower Judgment approved.